bully of the Middle East must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
President Trump addressing the nation following strikes that stunned the world. The U.S. bombed 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. There will either be peace or there will be tragedy. Those are the words President Trump used to describe what could happen next. Hello, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kathy Vara.
And I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. Now, the White House released these images of the president in the Situation Room as those strikes began. Tonight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying that this moment will change history and that it already has. This is now the first time the U.S. has launched an attack on Iranian soil.
You're looking live at the Tel Aviv skyline. It is 9 a.m. in Israel. Sirens are sounding as missiles are launched from Iran toward Israel. That is according to the Israeli Defense Forces, who say they are operating to intercept and strike where necessary.
Here's a live look tonight at Washington, D.C., where the president's gamble comes with extremely high stakes. If it pays off, Iran's nuclear capabilities could be set back years, possibly decades. If not, the U.S. could be drawn into another open-ended war in the Middle East.
Tonight, 2 defense officials and a senior White House official tell NBC News the Trump administration is bracing for retaliation. Officials are particularly worried about the next 48 hours. California officials are among those monitoring and preparing.
Here's a map now of the 3 nuclear sites that were hit. The facility at Fordo, located near the capital in Tehran, is Iran's most advanced facility, built inside of a mountain and believed to be safe from any bomb except the GBU-57, or what's known as the U.S.'s bunker buster weapon. Earlier today, several American B-2 stealth bombers, which are the only planes that can carry these 30,000-pound bombs, took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. They were thought to be headed for Guam.
We have live team coverage tonight of the strikes and the fallout. NBC4's Tracy Leong spoke to the Iranian and Israel communities here in Southern California. But first, we go to NBC4's Conan Nolan. He is live in our newsroom with reaction on the national level. Conan.
That's right. President Trump, who had long said he wanted a diplomatic end to the Iranian nuclear program, decided to use American force instead, with B-2 bombers and Tomahawk cruise missiles targeting 3 nuclear sites.
Just days after saying he would give it 2 weeks, President Donald Trump today pulled the trigger on the bombing of 3 nuclear sites inside Iran.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
The president calling the mission a spectacular military success.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
The amount of damage has not been independently verified. The targets included the Fordo nuclear enrichment facility buried deep under a mountain. The U.S. dropping 4 bunker-busting bombs designed to cut through 200 feet of reinforced concrete. The American attack had been sought by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons.
On Capitol Hill, some were furious the president did not seek congressional approval first. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders announcing the airstrikes during a rally today in Oklahoma to the chants of no more war.
The only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
The president says he hopes the bombing will result in new negotiations with Iran and an end to the war between Iran and Israel. But the Iranian leadership says every American soldier and sailor in the region is now a target. Congressman Brad Sherman of Sherman Oaks, who serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, believes it would be too much of a risk for Iran to strike U.S. personnel.
They may find it politically necessary to fire some missiles at American bases, but hitting American soldiers, even the death of 1 or 2 of our service people, would bring America more into conflict with Iran.
Tonight, there are reports of an Iranian retaliation with explosions in the skies over Tel Aviv as the Israeli missile defense system attempts to limit the impact.
Iranian state television had said that they had actually moved the nuclear fuel from the sites before the attack. That also has not been independently verified. The president pointing out that using proxies, the Iranian government has been attacking U.S. forces in the region for decades. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
Conan, thank you. And as we mentioned earlier, this is the first time the U.S. has launched an attack on Iranian soil. The relationship between Iran and the U.S. has been complicated for decades. The country's nuclear program became a concern in 2002 when the U.S. learned Iran had been secretly working on nuclear weapons. There were unsuccessful attempts to stop the nation's nuclear ambitions. The Iran nuclear deal was signed in 2015 under President Obama, but President Trump withdrew from that agreement in 2018.